Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday. This is a weekly show which covers all the news of Star Citizen from the week just past. I am your host Mac, so let's get on with it. This week we hear how 3.0 is coming along in all areas including ships, weapons and missions, plus a look into the upcoming engine trails and atmospheric particles. So around the verse this week came from the Austin studio. They started off by mentioning they've done a design pass on the price fixer tool with some new assets coming online for 3.0 like ships, suits, weapons. All of them fall within the pricing balance of the game now, and they're now far enough along to be able to predict more accurately what their base prices should be. New missions in game are also getting a pass on the rewards, the insurance and the respawn times. They're also setting up the inventory for shops using the new shop tech from the LA engineering team. They're getting NPCs into some of the main hubs in the PU landing zone too. They're focusing on Grimhex first to approve out the behaviours, and then they'll extend those behaviours on Port Olisar and Levski. The plan is to start creating a general level of ambience and start to bring these levels to life. Miles Eckhart is the mission giver for 3.0, and they're getting him in the game and linking him to all the usables like the tables, the stools, his glass for example, and then blending his animations between these objects naturally. They're linking the missions to Miles. It's a big collaboration between many departments. They've made lots of progress and they are looking forward to the 3.0 release, and so are we. They've finished the LODs and done a damage pass on the Cutlass Black. They're busy tweaking the cockpit area and rotating nacelles. They've moved on to creating some awesome renders and videos which will be used on the website for the upcoming marketing events. Now they've done a lot of work on moving the game features into diffusion services, which will allow for higher scalability and optimum performance, so that is very important. The PU animation team has started on NPC usables, beginning with counters, so including working with shopkeepers, bartenders, just these sort of NPCs to bring them to life. It will allow us to go and buy merchandise from a shopkeeper. This will include their face animations and audio, but also they're getting the bar stool up and running so we can go and sit down and order a drink. They finished the carry animations too, so now all the tech they need to expand on this mechanic is there. This is obviously part of the trading, the salvage, a lot of the mechanics in Star Citizen in the new 3.0 release. The ship animations is wrapping up, setting up the standard for the cockpit experience. They're polishing and improving the new animations for the upcoming release as well, and bringing the same level of cockpit interactions and animations to turrets. So we'll be able to interact with the turrets and you'll see our character animate and not get knocked out if the Gs are too much. DevOps are working to improve network capacity to handle the increase in build activity for 3.0. LiveOps has completed a build to support shopping and subsumption. They're still tuning and adjusting, but it's exciting to see the new servers come online. Now in QA they have been testing the new 3.0 features, which include the new overhauled Star Marine weapons, testing the Crusader moons, testing Levski, the missions, improving the Mobiglass and its apps, and one of the apps coming to the Mobiglass for 3.0 will be the Star Map, plus all the ships that are coming in as well. They say that stability and performance is majorly important too, so they're focusing on getting that done. Anyway, there's a quick Spectrum update. They say that the groundwork for 0.36 is being laid for the desktop release of Spectrum. This includes having the ability to have a window in overlay and a window on the desktop at the same time. They're adding new features like the forum editor, adding drafts to threads, inline images, and a lot more styling. They're hoping it's what we want. The custom roles are being added. That's the biggest feature for 0.36a. So you can give your org members roles. For example, you can give them a title. It's all custom roles, so you give them a title that you seem fit and his description. They're also update to the mini profiles too, making them a more compact setup and re-importing post counts for all users, plus introducing karma, so when you upvote a post or whatever, you gain karma for this, and you will finally be able to have the option to message people directly. So the final segment for ATV was engine trails and visual effects particles. Now they're getting these ready for the 3.0 release, and this includes anything from a wisp of steam from a mug all the way up to the capital ship exploding. Particles are there and they are very important. So they need to maintain the visual quality while running at a good standard FPS, so it's very challenging. But they are setting up the engine trails and atmospheric entry and exit for each ship. Each manufacturer will have a different colour for this, and for the atmospheric entry, not only will the ships create a glow, but other objects too, so maybe comets or asteroids coming in if there's a shower. Engine trails did not look good on the previous tech, and we can see they just looked awful. With the tech and the code team support working together to create these GPU particle system, which is kind of the driving force of the effects. The CPU cannot handle so many particles, so it's going to be used on the GPU. Particles will collide with the geometry of a scene. It looks very realistic from what we can see here. And it will feel real too, but also ships passing through particles. The particles will react to the ship as if it is there, and it'll bounce off the ship and so forth. Now, all the moons in 3.0 will have their own atmosphere. The atmosphere will vary between these moons, which is good to see, and so the entry and exit will look a little different. But engine trails will be very useful, especially in flying as a group or being able to locate your group quicker. But also in combat, getting a much better sense of ship direction and, you know, sort of a situational awareness. The new performance is much better too with this new tech. As usual, they find a way of making the game look better, but also run better and more efficiently. It's very, very clever what they're doing. Before they said they can only get about 100 sparks. Now they can achieve 1,000. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about this, guys. It's very exciting to see this come into 3.0. Anyway, let's move on. So with the release of the NOX Sail, there was a Q&A as well, just answering some of the questions you may have. I'll just read through the answers. The first one is, it can be transported comfortably in the Freelancer, the new Cutlass, and the Constellation. For smaller ships like the Reliant and the Avenger, it will physically fit, but it may be tight and won't be locked in place. Second question is that the NOX can be in space or on ground, but cannot transition between the two. It is able to be ridden across water as well, which is pretty cool. It's unknown yet to what type of armor can be worn while flying. They're still evaluating this for all ships. The NOX's top SCM speed is 220 meters a second. The afterburner takes it up to 550, and on the ground it can travel at 100 meters a second, which is roughly about 223 miles per hour. It is unknown how the NOX will handle over rough terrain, but do expect the NOX will not handle rough terrain as well as the Dragonfly could. There's no cargo space at all. When it comes to painting the NOX and basically ships in general, they don't have a 100% definitive answer, but they expect certain ships will have set manufacturer palettes or colours like in the real world, but like in the real world as well, you should be able to paint them with whatever colour you choose. However, limited edition colours will only be available through the manufacturer. You can't have, say, the Silver Q official paint from a third-party paint job. You will not be able to carry any weapons other than a pistol while driving the NOX, which is a downside. Currently it's in testing and the NOX will lean as you drift, and it looks pretty cool. Under ideal conditions, the NOX with its competitive class components will give you a distinct advantage on races over the Dragonfly. However, the Dragonfly may take advantage when over difficult terrain. The NOX itself comes with competition grade C components. For the future, they do intend that we will be able to customize these components with higher grade competition options. Other styles of components are yet to be seen. But when they mention that it's powerful in combat, they say that the NOX will have an advantage over the Dragonfly due to speed and maneuverability plus the added armor. It's nothing to do with it's not going to be able to take on a Cutlass or whatever. In regards to stealth, though, it does say that the NOX you'll be able to replace the competition components with stealth components, which will help, but it will also depend on how well you can manage your signals. It has no landing gear as it hovers all the time with its emergency power, but if that is drained, then it will just fall to the ground. The ships are now priced based on their component matrix, which is why it is priced above some smaller ships with jump capabilities. It's mainly down to the specialized competition grade components. Primarily, the NOX is designed for speed and high maneuverability, so racing is its primary aim, but it does have the potential for flanking infantry. But also remember that the moons are very big, and having a fast vehicle just like the NOX will help you traverse them much quicker. It only has size 1 fixed mounts, so there's no gimbal weapons available. And finally, you can travel at a maximum SEM speed for extended time due to its ability to create and replenish fuel used for everyday operation, like many of the ships if they have the proper intakes. Anyway, that was the Q&A. I hope that's cleared up some questions. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let's move on. So, throughout the month of June, we have been giving away a Star Citizen starter package, courtesy of my patrons. All you had to do was be a subscriber to my YouTube channel and comment on any video throughout the month of June. We have a winner for this month, and it is Emmanuel Lemieux. So congratulations, and send me a DM over on my Discord with your RSA username and email, and I shall send that over to you. My link is in the description below. Don't worry if you didn't win though this month. It's as usual, we'll be starting a new giveaway for July, so be sure to subscribe here on YouTube and comment on any video throughout July to stand a chance. As I say, this is courtesy of my patrons who support me via a monthly donation from as little as $1, which helps me dedicate my time to creating videos like this. So just a brief Star Citizen happy hour this week. Basically, they're getting ready for 3.0, getting everything ready for Gamescom and CitizenCon. They mentioned that the 600i was seen in the Banu Defender brochure. I'll try and find it. I've not seen it, but it's supposed to be there. This isn't the next concept ship, as they are taking more time on this. The Starfarer, they say, will be revisited later down the line, as they may add modules in place of the fuel tanks, but there is also another fairer configuration being talked about. As they build out the verse, in more and more areas they are finding places in which they require a certain type of vehicle that has not yet been planned, so they often have to think back to what they could either create as a separate vehicle or maybe modify another vehicle. Nothing sort of given as an example. They're adding a couple more referral tiers between 1 and 10 because they want to reward people more. The flight model will change throughout the progression of Star Citizen's life. Blood oxygenation is a thing, and it will be part of the system. If the environment has more oxygen, then you'll have better stamina, and vice versa. If there is little oxygen, but still oxygen available, then your stamina will run down quicker. And finally, the CIG studios are all heads down right now, focused on 3.0, but there is a level of excitement for the release. Everyone is very proud of what they are working on and just cannot wait for it to be ready. Anyway, that was basically what we got from Happy Hour. Let's get on with it. So, as you probably know, CitizenCon tickets have gone on sale. They are currently being released in batches of 150 twice a day, one at 6 PM BST and the other one at 10 PM BST. I couldn't get one just yet, but I'm hopeful for today. Be sure to follow the link below if you are interested in going and pick yours up. So, also this week, Citizens of the Stars community member was Steve CC, and the dev in the hot seat was Ricky Jutley. There was a new booty call post titled Small Fish. Bug Smashers this week focused on a NOX first-person bug, and finally there is a subscriber flash sale for the Caterpillar. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for watching, and thank you to our subscribers, plus a massive thank you to our patrons as you make this possible. If you like what we do and want to help us make it better, follow the link in the description to our Patreon page to learn more.